One, two, three, action. Hello guys, this is Nona Prince and I'm joined today by three more people, the biggest podcast we're having in my lifetime. And we have Josh, Manoj and Varun from US.
What up?
Hello.
Guys. One by one guys, one by one.
Hello.
Hi guys, thank you Nona for having me again.
You did good last time, so you are promoted.
Okay. Yes, I'm still on a tight leash, I think. If I say something wrong, then
Yeah, I think you did the quota.
yeah, I did a couple of times.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So here we are today. We're talking about three Malayalam films. Now, no way I'm saying these are the best Malayalam films ever made, and these are just three picks from my side. And these are very different kind of movies, all three of them. And I wanted them to watch them, and then we'll sit together and talk about it. So the three films are, of course, you have seen the thumbnail and the title. It's Virus, Kumbalangi Nights, and Jallikattu. So, I think before we start one by one, I think I want each one of you to. Wait. Before that, Manoj is here. He's from Kerala.
Yeah.
He understands Malayalam, and I think he's one of the best person we could have on podcast talking about Malayalam cinema.
I don't know what best, but okay.
I think in my circle, you're the best guy.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah. So guys, do let us know your thoughts on the movies below and what other movies you would recommend us guys to watch. Yeah, so one by one, I would like each one of you to rank the three films. I'm not saying to compare them, but like whichever you enjoyed the most and whichever you would recommend it to someone or some whatever your criteria is, just rank them from 1 to 3. Okay. So who wants to go first?
I think you
Why
better
don't
pick
you
people
go first?
Who?
Yeah. I think it's better if you pick people.
Oh, I'm the host, man.
You are the host.
Yeah, no, I'll go
You're the
last.
boss.
I'll go last.
No, because I think three of us are there, so it'll be more confusing. Like apart from you, so we might like speak over each other accidentally.
See, if I even go first, I'll just edit my part and put it at the end.
So I honestly didn't think about that.
Yeah,
That's
so-
very smart.
Just say whatever.
He has
Just do
editing
whatever I say.
privilege.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? I'll go first.
Yeah, okay, Josh, go.
Alright, so
One
if I
second.
had to- Alright.
Just want to just want to tell everyone that I have reviewed all three films, so go check it out. Just plugging. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I've seen all three of the films,
Okay.
and honestly, Kumbalangi Nights was like my favorite.
Okay.
I mean, if I had to rank them only in these, just rank these three films, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was actually my favorite. I'd say the second one would be I'm sorry, how do I pronounce this? Jallikattu.
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 Okay, Jallikattu.
Okay. And the third one would be Virus.
Okay.
Yeah, so do I need an explanation or just
No,
No, we'll explain it later, I guess.
Alright,
Yeah.
fine. That's just it's my yeah.
Yeah. Next.
I guess I should go.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite was Jallikattu.
Okay.
Second would be Virus, and third would be Kumbalangi Nights.
Okay.
It's like opposite to Josh's.
Varun?
Yeah, so my favorite was Kumbalangi Nights. Second would be Virus, and third would be Jallikattu.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, it's all different.
Yeah. I think mine is similar to, not similar, same as Varun's. And I think the reason I want to say that is like how I rank movies is that if I can recommend it to someone and if I can rewatch it. So I think in that criteria I would put Kumbalangi Nights first, then Virus, and then Jallikattu.
Sure.
Jallikattu.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so before we get into the films, each one of you just share your thoughts about watching Malayalam cinema. If you have seen before, of course, Manoj has seen before, and
Yeah.
what are the differences between Malayalam and Tamil, which we talked about later, like not later, which we talked about some months back, and compared to Hollywood, Bollywood, whatever. Like, what are the things that stand out for you?
Okay, so who's going first?
I feel like I'm being I don't know.
Okay, I'll go first this time.
No, I want Manoj to go last. because of course Manoj is
Okay.
from, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay.
Just
Varun,
feel
you
like
go.
I'm
Varun,
being
you go.
asked questions in school right now.
Yeah, like I'm
Just
feeling
like
like
I
a
said,
It
Viva
feels
I
like
teacher.
a
don't know
10th
how.
standard Viva going
I
on.
swear, dude. Just like so nervous.
five 5 marks, -1 for disciplinary action. Varun, go.
Okay. So, wait, what do I have to talk about? Why I rank them like that, or what? Just about the
No,
Malayalam
just
cinema.
talk about Malayalam cinema. What are the features stand out for you, and compared to other cinema? Like you have seen, I think, the most in between us.
Okay. Yeah, so I think, yeah, for me, I would say, yeah, like from what I noticed in all three films is that it is definitely very like they they don't need to explain everything to their audience. I'm pretty sure the audience understands most of the things that they are talking about. I think
They treat them as
I
intelligent audience.
yeah, intelligent, intellectual. It is definitely for a more intellectual audience, like
Yeah.
especially for an audience that wants more, more content over quality, or like
Hmm.
more substance
Yeah.
over
Sure.
style, like which
Hmm.
is
Okay.
seen in usually in like Bollywood or other cinemas. Yeah, like I really like the slice of life genre, so that's why I think I love Kumbalangi Nights the most.
Okay.
And yeah, I think yeah they are making content which is very similar to Hollywood or something. Like they are focusing a lot on the content, making sure that the content is good, so the audience itself will come and watch it. Yeah.
I think many people compare it with French cinema.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Josh,
Okay, so am I comparing it with Hollywood in particular, or like other like?
whatever you have seen, like like you saw Tamil, you have seen Hindi, you have seen English. Like, what stands out?
It's I feel like it's they bring a little bit of culture towards it.
Okay.
I mean, this is what I see. Maybe I've seen this in a Tamil film also, but right now I really cannot remember. But I can see that there's like a lot of like culture, and when it comes to uh, the way how the place is and everything. Okay, now when it comes to Hollywood and all that, right? It's not just like say for example so far I've liked only Kumbalangi Nights a lot, like a lot, and from what I see, if I would compare it to a Hollywood movie, it wouldn't really give me that type of a feel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's unique, and that was pretty amazing to see, from that type of movie, that certain movie, it just gave you all of it, like culture of how um, a Malayali family is, or I mean, I could be wrong, but like it just showed me like a lot of things, like basically even like hardships and everything like that.
Do you feel like you do you connect with it more, because do you think it's very similar to Goan culture?
Maybe a little bit, I'd say, like when it comes to I think when it comes to like when it the whole thing about religion and like families per se,
Yeah.
when
Even
it
the
comes to
geography.
even geography, when it comes to like how it was just like an arranged marriage and all that. I mean, we do have this here, like here too, so I could connect with it a little bit here and there.
Manoj,
Okay. Now. Okay. Actually, going last has more pressure.
I'm last.
Because
I'm
you.
taking all the pressure.
Oh, okay. 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 Thank you, Nona. Okay. So obviously, like I am a Malayali, so Malayalam cinema has a very special place in my heart. I grew up watching these movies. Uh, for me, like, see, initially when I was small, like when I was in school, I never really appreciated Malayalam cinema that much. And I
Okay.
would also say that Malayalam cinema was not in the state that it was today. Like, it was the storytelling was not as mature as we see it now. Some of the olden films. So like at least that's my opinion. So growing up I actually especially during my school days, during my high school days, I sort of went away from Malayalam cinema for a little bit because I started feeling bored by the content which was being provided. And and also when you're growing in school, you kind of always have this attitude where you're trying to embrace other cultures without looking at your own culture. So I kind of went through that phase a little bit.
Okay.
So I mean, I started looking at Hollywood and Bollywood more than my own sort of movies which were coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah, that's
But
rated.
I think yeah, so I think everyone goes through that a little bit. But then I think when I was in 12th standard, it's like some of my friends, which I had, started showing me, started telling me to watch this movie, watch that movie. And that's when my love for Malayalam cinema sort of reignited. I sort of found these stories which were really much more grounded in emotion. And I could see that maturity in storytelling. And it was not just in the themes or the content, it was even with the jokes, with the lifestyle. Like I could connect so much with these movies that it went up the pile again for me. So that's what Malayalam cinema means to me. It holds a very special place in my heart, and it is in a place which is unique from any other like Hollywood, Bollywood. Like the budgets may be smaller, but the heart is a lot bigger than the other industries. That's how I would describe Malayalam cinema to me.
What the difference you feel like? What is the something which stands out for you,
Like, look, I'm not trying to put down any other
No, no,
industry,
no, no. That's
but
okay. We understand.
I feel like when I watch different movies, I watch Bollywood movies a lot. I watch Hollywood movies. Okay, let's put Hollywood aside for now. But like when I watch Bollywood movies, sometimes I feel like they're trying to play catch with Malayalam movies. Like they're trying to catch up to the standards or to the quality and storytelling of Malayalam movies. Like sometimes I get that feeling. I when I see some of those movies being remade. For example, Drishyam was a Malayalam movie which was
Yeah,
remade to
yeah,
Hindi.
yeah.
I could not watch the Hindi version, and I'm not saying that they did a bad job with the Hindi version. I watched a few minutes of it, but I could not find that realism that the Malayalam director Jitu Joseph put in his version. And the acting of Ajay Devgan could not match up with the acting of Mohanlal because, like, when I see Ajay Devgan in Drishyam, I see Ajay Devgan, but when I see Mohanlal in Drishyam, I don't see that superstar. I see this ordinary person trying to fight for his family. Like for me that is the most that's the thing that separates Malayalam from something like Bollywood. It's where like I feel like the story is the thing that overpowers the movie, which I think in Bollywood it is becoming like that. You're starting to see patterns where the story is being given more importance. But as I
Yeah.
said, like I feel like they're playing catch. That's the only sort of thing I feel like difference. I still love Bollywood also. Just full disclosure.
Ajay Devgan is every movie.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but I just say like you see that wooden sort of acting, and then when you see the Malayalam version, you see a lot more like involved. And I like Ajay Devgan a lot. One movie Shivai, which many people like. I feel like it's a little underrated that movie where he directed. I think he has a lot of talent, but like if you're trying to do roles that Mohanlal portrayed in the Malayalam version, I don't think you're going to live up to that.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, even I remember when the Drishyam came out in Hindi, people were really impressed with how it was very different from what people in Hindi cinema has seen, and you can totally now I can totally see why it's different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I can. I mean, I'm glad that the story was brought forward to more audiences. Like,
it's
I'm
remade
glad
in
that
5 to 6 languages, right?
yeah, yeah. So, but when I see for a Malayali, when they see the other versions, especially the Hindi version, they find it really hard to like us. We guys, we really find it hard to connect with the Hindi version because the Malayalam version is so close to us. I think I went off a tangent.
No, 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 no. That's all. Yeah, so my turn, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I
The
think
host goes last.
all of your points are like I don't think I have to add something to them, but one more thing I find in Malayalam cinema particularly. Now I have not seen French cinema, German cinema, those kind of
Mm.
films. I am sure Varun has. He is exposed to them. So one thing I really find interesting in Malayalam cinema is the time they take in their movies. It's like there's no character arc or character graph. We talk about graph in a film, right?
Mm.
It's building
Yeah,
up to
yeah, yeah.
something and there's a conclusion. I feel like it's missing, and it's for good. because there is no ticking bomb. The plot, there is no ticking bomb. You have to do something. Go, go, go. There's no ticking bomb. There's like just even in Kumbalangi Nights and all the films, it just go slowly, slowly, slowly going ahead. You don't know where it's going, and I really find that really interesting and intriguing how they pull it off, because the first thing we are taught in screenwriting is that build up, make a graph. The action should be building up
Yeah.
to something. There should be no interest. The graph should be going
I
up.
mean, I would like to interrupt you a little bit. Like, I think in Kumblangi, though, like Kumblangi Nights, I feel like there was a little bit of a character arc for some of those characters at least.
No, I'm Cataract. I'm not talking about not the Cata is not there. I'm saying there's no
Yeah.
graph of the
It's more
building up.
subtle, is what you're trying to say.
It's not on the
Yeah.
on the face like there's a graph going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. That I absolutely agree. Yeah.
There's no time pressure. Films have MacGuffins which makes like you have to do this
Yeah.
in 2 days, you have to do this in 2 hours.
Yeah.
And this will happen, this will happen. There's something to building up to something. Like halfway through Virus, halfway through Kumbalangi Nights, I'm like, okay, where is this story going? Like, what is the end goal? Like the end game, in all the superhero
Yeah,
movies,
yeah.
there's an end game, right? The last
Yeah, yeah.
fight, the last villain, the thing. But in this movie, it's like, like there's no end game for us. Until we reach the end, we don't know what the end is. Other movies, you are starting the film, you know what the end will be.
It's like formulaic, other movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not bad. It works. That's why
Yeah.
it's done so many
I mean,
times
MCU has
repetitively.
thrived on that.
Yeah. But even the movies which I didn't include in the list, I just saw Trance, I saw Unda, and both the movies, like, again, I'm just thinking halfway through where is this film going? And I'm not saying it in a negative way. Like, it's really interesting
Yeah.
to not know what's gonna happen. That's really refreshing.
True.
And again, as Varun said, how intellectual these films are. And I think that's one of the drawbacks of Malayalam cinema, that it's not pan-India because of that. Because,
Yeah.
of course, Kerala's literacy rate is the highest in the country. And it really makes sense why the movies reflect that. And I think, but that's the only drawback which, constrain
Yeah, I
it
mean,
from
I would
not
agree
traveling.
with that. Like, the movies are not made for the entire sort of country.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
that's true.
it's
That's
focused on the Malayalam audiences.
No, but even how Kannada film
Yeah,
industry
that
like
makes
KGF,
sense.
KGF,
I
ASN.
think this is like a good drawback then, I would say.
Yeah, sure. I mean, but at the same time, I would have to say that there are movies in Malayalam also which are not that good.
Yeah, of
But
course.
for the most part, they deliver.
Yeah. So I think we should get into, if there's anything else you want to talk about or in whole Malayalam cinema something. Otherwise, we can directly jump into the films.
I think we'll jump into the films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we should keep Jallikattu at the end, and we should keep
Yeah, of
Virus. We start with Virus because what's happening right
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more thing before we get into that. Not for Manoj, but both of you. Did you find the subtitles weird? I've watched a lot of South Indian cinema, so I think Malayalam cinema is the
It is
only
weird, yeah,
place.
because even like I watch it, I see the subtitles down. Sometimes I'm like, that translation is weird.
Yeah, because it's like the person says two words and there's a one big full sentence of dialogue, and sometimes they say
Yeah.
one full sentence
It's a
dialogue and
hard
it's just two
language to
words.
translate, I would say.
Yeah, like it doesn't like very similar to the
Yeah,
length of the word spoken.
Yeah, true. That I agree with, yeah.
Yeah, so let's get into Virus. Who wants to start? Okay.
I think there is no one.
I mean, I don't know if I should go first. Like,
Okay, I think
Yeah.
Manoj go first.
oh, I'm supposed to go first. Wow, okay. So this was a movie which I actually watched it for the podcast. Like I had seen the trailer for it a long time back, and I was just a little like I was a little freaked out watching this actually because I'm like I don't really want to watch a movie about this. Like I'd heard amazing things about the movie, but still I was like, oh, I don't know if I should watch this because of the content of the movie. Like it just freaked me out a little. And then Nona told me that we'll be talking about this movie, so I was like, okay, then I guess I'll watch it. Which actually, this time when this coronavirus pandemic is going on, is probably the worst time to watch this. But still, I watched it, and I'm glad. But I'm glad I watched it because or it would have been a huge miss. I think this movie, the best thing about this movie is it realistically portrays what all actually happened. Like there's a sense of groundedness to it. Nothing just happens just like that.
Yeah.
And after watching the movie, I read some behind the scenes stuff on like with the real doctors and all. And apparently for the doctors watching this movie, actually it was not. It was actually dramatized a bit too much apparently. But the beauty of this movie is when you watch the movie, you don't actually feel that it's dramatized. You
Yeah.
feel like okay, this is actually the events that happened. And I think the idea to make this a medical thriller was a genius because
I've
you are
never heard
hooked
that
to it.
term in my life. That is the first time when I watched this film I heard that term.
Yeah, but I
Medical
think
thriller.
I watched a series called House MD,
Yeah, I've seen that.
and
I've seen that.
yeah, in that also it's like each episode is it reminded me a little bit of that. Like they're trying to find the patient zero, they're trying to like find the source of this, they're trying to find how the outbreak has happened, and to quarantine all those people. And I don't know, and it was I thought the entire structure of the screenplay. Like I'm not someone who studied a lot of screenplay and all. I've written a few, but just as a hobby sort of thing. But just like looking, I was like, man, this is like how many characters? There's like multiple characters throughout the entire movie, but I'm not feeling confused. I can follow through each and everything.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like a genius in the writing of the movie and even in the performances because I thought each performance delivered a distinct thing to their character, and I think that was really cool to see. And this movie had so many faces in Malayalam cinema come together, which I mean, like if you look at some of these actors like Tovino or Kunchacko Boban, all of these actors are actors who can hold their own movie, like who can hold their own
Yeah,
solo
yeah.
movie. But to see such an ensemble come together, I thought was really cool. And I thought the director of this movie, his name is Aashiq Abu. I've seen a few of his older movies, like Daddy Cool, Salt and Pepper, but I can say easily this was probably his best movie out of all of them. Like I thought the way he even depicted the entire like the outbreak and everything, it showed a lot of maturity in him as a filmmaker, and that's something which I appreciated a lot watching the movie. And there's this sense of like he he treated the material with a lot of sensitivity. I think like he approached it with the right amount of seriousness that you would want a material like this to be treated with. And I thought this was easily one of Malayalam cinema's best movies. So I thought Nona Prince picked a pretty good movie to start with.
Thanks.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you told me to watch this also. Like, oh, I wouldn't have watched this. Like, for me, watching movies like this is like watching a horror movie. Like, I'm like, ah. But I'm really glad I watched this movie.
Thankfully, I saw the movie before the pandemic happened.
I mean, I was watching it during the pandemic, and everything was mirroring. But it kind of shows how why Kerala was so well prepared for this also.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
when when the outbreak happened, and they were like, at least, I'm not comparing it with any other states, but the measures which the Kerala government took were actually pretty much on point, and I think that's why we are kind of being able to flatten the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's my thoughts. I think on the movie.
I had a thought while you were talking, but I forgot.
Okay. You could have interrupted me. I wouldn't have minded
Nah,
that.
you're in a good flow, so I didn't say anything.
Okay. Thanks, man.
I'll remember it while editing.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's gonna go next? Varun?
Okay, I'll go. Yeah, so I think, yeah, since I also saw it, I just saw this film like yesterday, and
Okay.
I think, yeah, just like everything that it portrayed and everything. Like, yeah, one small thing that I noticed is like a lot of times, and especially in like Bollywood films, if they are talking about, you know, like especially some medical related terms or just scientific terms in general, they will always give a lot of exposition for that. They'll give a lot of explanation, which is often not needed. But yeah, again, it makes sense because it's made for like a very big mass audience. So maybe that's why they have to do it. But here, like, they did not explain so many things because they know that the audience would already know the meaning of this. Yeah, that was refreshing to see. That like that was new for me. I haven't seen like that. And also, yeah, I think it was a really good thriller in general, and it had like good pacing and everything. Yeah, I mean, especially it suddenly becomes so relevant right now, especially with everything that's going on. Yeah, I mean, it is sort of mirroring what is happening right now, and again, it shows why Kerala was so good at flattening the curve for coronavirus, and
Yeah,
Can I just
I
add one more point?
yeah, go ahead.
I just want to talk about like one aspect is the emotions of the character, like the emotions of the patients and the emotions behind the families. I thought that was very beautifully portrayed throughout the entire movie. Like you could see the real humanity behind the doctors, behind the patients, behind their lives. I thought that was really cool. That's just it. I just wanted to add that.
Okay, so I was gonna actually say that. Did you guys notice that the film was non-linear?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I kind of understood that like almost halfway in.
Okay. It in the beginning it kind of threw me off. I was like, what? And then I realized, oh, they are afterwards, after showing the patient, they are going into their stories.
Yeah, they're going back and they're
Yeah,
showing his story. Yeah.
yeah. Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so about this whole, see, from I'm talking from like a whole, whether I liked it from a from that standpoint,
Yeah, yeah. Whatever you feel.
So it's like
Yeah.
the movies that you given, like, dude, they were amazing, but from my standpoint, like, I didn't, when it came to virus, I didn't really like it that much as a movie, I'd say. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
from what I've seen and all, it was pretty good. Like, I liked the, like, even Matthew said.
Yeah.
Wait, please tell me
Yeah.
it's Matthew. Yeah, yeah. Like even Matthew said,
Yeah.
like how it was like they caught that proper realistic view from what happened in Kerala, right, in 2018,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like with the whole Nipah virus and
Nipah
all that.
virus,
So
yeah.
that was really amazing. The way they caught
Mm,
it, the brilliance behind that was really
yeah.
good. And like he said, like there was no confusion between the characters and all that. You could just know, okay, you wouldn't get confused. You know who was what, who was doing what and stuff like that, and you could feel that emotion and stuff like that. But
Mm.
as like a movie, as far as the movie goes, I didn't really like it that much. I didn't like it, like and that is mainly because it's just a personal preference. Because
Yeah, obviously, man. You can have your
yeah, that's
own
that's
opinion.
like a personal preference. Because
Yeah.
from the three movies that you gave,
Mm.
was the most favorite was the Kumbalangi Nights, because it
Yeah,
had,
we'll go to that later.
yeah, okay, because it
Yeah.
had like a really good story. And like I
Yeah.
said, personal preference is like a,
Yeah.
for me it's like a really good story and stuff
I
like
think
that.
I think what
So
you're trying to say, like you like this is not something you want to go back and watch.
this is not something I
Like it's a
would go
one
back
time
and
watch,
watch.
one
Yeah,
time watch.
yeah,
Yeah, I get
yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I can understand what you're saying. Like for like at times it might seem a bit like a documentary sometimes.
Exactly. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's a bad film. It is that
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
something that I
True.
wouldn't watch again. It's
Yeah.
just me. That's, yeah.
I just want to add like a thing that the film was actually shot in the same hospital
Yeah, I
that
was
the
gonna say
patients were
that.
treated in.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's why they could get it all realistically. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so it's Soubin Shahir, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's there in Kumbalangi Nights also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a scene of him. He falls in the hospital on the floor.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
when he did that shot, right? So he was feeling little weird. So he just talked to one of
Okay.
the ADs, and the AD told him that this is the same hospital where everything took place, and he got so paranoid. I think it
But
was
he's
one
a great
one of
actor.
the
He's
He's
such
a
a
interview.
very
natural
good
actor.
Yeah,
actor.
we'll go to him. We'll go to him. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, my chance.
Yeah, go
Yeah, I
for it.
think
yeah, sure,
the
sure.
first, I think in my review also I said this that people complain, why Indians don't make a, big, heavy film, a theoretical film, or, big scientific film like that.
Mm.
And there's an interview of Amir Khan, and someone asked him why India cannot make a film like Inception. And he said that people don't understand, like if you want to reach mass audience, the people
Mm.
are not educated to understand the terms, and you have to explain everything, and then the film loses its charm.
Yeah,
And after I saw this movie, I'm convinced that Malayalam cinema is the only cinema in India which can do this, which can pull
yeah.
so authentic with like a scientific thing without explaining anything. Like I'm not a bio guy, okay? I didn't do bio, but I still understood and got what they were doing in the film.
Yeah.
That
I
it,
mean,
it
even I
makes
was a
sense to
commerce
me.
graduate.
No competition, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Competition, bro. It's not a competition, guys. Relax.
I thought it was a competition. I was all like ready for that.
And
Okay, continue.
yeah, so yeah, and one more thing is like the way the film, in a way entertains because it's a thriller at the end of the day,
Hmm.
and it's very
Yeah,
like at the end I was just engaged where the film is going. I just want to see what's happening. The thrill of finding out how it all started was so good, and they took
yeah,
their
yeah,
time.
yeah,
They took their time. It was never it. The word I would use is organic. It never felt
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, it happened out of the blue.
Yeah,
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 true.
Especially for the film, because the film of course dramatized the events. Now not
yeah,
everything
yeah,
that happened in the film happened in reality, but still the
yeah, yeah,
way
yeah,
they found out things, they so many times they hit dead end, so
yeah,
many times, like that is so neglected in other films, like
yeah,
they'll fail once or twice and then they'll get it. No, in this film,
yeah,
they after every 10 minutes, the lady who goes and finds out how it started, she hits a dead end.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah,
okay, again, going to a tangent, but the way they explored each victim and character through her going
hmm.
to each person's house
Yeah,
and
yeah,
seeing what the situation is. Oh my God. Yeah, coming back to the point. Yeah, like it was so, like even just see how it educates the people of Kerala. Being
hmm.
entertaining, still being educated to the people of Kerala, how it all started and how they are telling them what not to do. It can happen again.
Hmm.
And it's so like it's very complicated in that way, it's doing so
Yeah,
many things at once.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, as Manoj said that there are a lot of stars in this film. I think one of the, I would not say drawback for me, not for the film, is that
hmm.
like of course for Josh and Varun too, because we don't know. I only knew two actors from this film, and I'm sure both
Okay,
of
Hmm.
you
okay.
would know because they were in Kumbalangi Nights too. So,
Ah, yeah,
so
yeah.
every there were so many characters in the film, and they had so small roles that when someone was called back in the film, I didn't know who was that because I forgot
Ah,
about
yeah,
him
yeah.
because he was in the beginning or
Yeah,
in
I
the
can
middle.
see how that will affect
So
like other
a
like
lot of
people outside Kerala who are
yeah,
not familiar with these actors.
yeah. So a lot of times
Yeah.
I didn't understand whom they are talking about and which
Uh,
who's this guy again. I forgot, but at the end, it all works.
it culminates well in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a big issue, but it does, like if I knew the actors, I would
Yeah.
see, yeah, he's that character, is that character. I would
Yeah. True, true.
associate them
I
with that.
understand that. I agree with that to a certain extent.
Yeah, and I think the
Yeah.
one thing it is in the title of my review video is the ending of the film. I hope you guys stayed
Mm.
till the end
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
they
yeah.
when they
Yeah.
show how it all started.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
my question in that video was, why would you show that scene? From the narrative point of view also, and from the message point of view also, like it shows that a act of humanity led to a kind of destruction of
Yeah, yeah.
humanity.
True, true.
So I was thinking, in a not complaining but just asking for like just to talk about why was that ending necessary and why was it there, like what was the point of it. So before I say, I got a lot of answers from the in the comments, and one answer was
Okay.
really really great. But before that, I would like to ask you guys. It's okay if you don't have
There's a
any opinion on that. Like it
there's
doesn't
always a
matter.
starting trouble when Nona says like now I want you guys to say.
Yeah, this is 5 marks question. Okay.
So 3 pages we have to write, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'll go first then, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess
Whoever has something to say about it.
who should is someone else speaking?
No, no, go for it.
Okay, okay. I was hoping that someone else would. But I think I think it was a general way of showing that it was trying to show the beginning and the end. Basically, I think that's what they were trying to go for. Like throughout the entire movie, they were like saying that okay, how did this outbreak happen? How did this happen? And I think, as Nona itself said, it was the simple act of humanity of actually uh, tending to a bat that was injured that caused this entire outbreak to happen. It reminded me a little bit of Pink. In Pink, the movie Pink, the ending of the movie, they actually show the actual event that
Yeah.
happened. which transpired the whole events before of the movie, and it reminded me a little bit of that. But I liked it more in Virus because it was like it felt like a very like such a simple thing led to such an extraordinary event happening throughout the state. So
I think
for me,
the difference between
yeah,
Pink and this is that in Pink, everything is about that act, because if you show what really happened, the film
yeah,
loses its what it's talking about.
yeah,
Like
yeah, true,
without
true,
knowing
true.
what happened, the
Yeah,
like what they wanted to say, that even
true.
if it's a sex slave or anything, if even
Yeah,
she
yeah,
says no, it's no.
yeah, true, true, true.
Yeah, so
No,
I
I mean,
think
I
that
would
was the point
argue
of that
that
film.
even though virus is not entirely about this event, it's about finding out what led to all these events happening. Like
Yeah, okay,
throughout the
I
movie,
get
you
it, I
have
get
this
it.
thing of trying to find who the patient zero was or how did he get affected, and how like even throughout the movie there is hints of like a biological attack being made on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
state, and
yeah.
it was actually nothing like that.
Yeah,
Like it
even
was nothing
people now are
extraordinary.
saying that, China
Yeah,
did
even now
this.
they are saying I'm talking strictly from the movie's point of view, not from the realistic side of. But strictly from the movie point of view, there was big talk of like a biological weapon or something very big and extraordinary thing that led to this outbreak. But like I think the movie sort of ends in a way showing that in such a simple act of humanity actually causes the entire thing to happen. That's just my thought of it.
Anyone else want to say something?
No, no, no. He said it all, dude.
Yeah. Worse?
Yeah, I think I agree kind of with what he said, and I think the ending it also like what I thought was that throughout the film the the first guy, what was his name, Zakaria.
Pardon?
So
The patient zero.
yeah, the first patient, yeah,
Yeah,
the
Zakria, Zakria,
patient zero.
Zakria,
Yeah,
Zakria.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for over the film, people started doubting. Like there were many questions raised against him. Like what was he? Was he some sort of terrorist or something like that? And I think the ending was just like it felt to me that okay, he was not really a bad person. He was just trying to do some good. But that resulted in him dying and so many more people dying and something like that. I think, yeah.
So I think what Varun said is the one of the answers like I got, which
Mm.
was I like that answer a lot. That in the movie they show that the mother, I think the mother or the grandmother of the first victim
Mm.
zero, she cried that she's like people will be angry on us about his son, that he
Yeah,
started
yeah.
it, and that scene really answers that he did an act of humanity, and it was not just casual, and he didn't do
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
wrong. His
Yeah.
intention was right, to
Yeah,
show
yeah.
people
True, true.
that the person who caused all of this, because in real life
Mm.
also that person got a lot of hate
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he started it all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm sure if someone today brings up a name, the person who brought the corona in India, people will just go after him. First of all,
Yeah,
they'll see his
true,
name,
true.
which religion he belongs to, and then
Yeah.
so shots fired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one more, that it also shows how it all started, and people should be careful when they do something like this,
Yeah, yeah.
if they see bad
Yeah,
and all.
true,
Yeah, so
true.
that's the major point.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go to the
yeah.
next film, because most of you love,
Okay.
it's your favorite film. So
And even I like Kumbalangi, even though I ranked it
yeah,
below
that's
both of
yeah. I'm
them.
not. I'm not accusing you, bro. Don't worry. I'm not accusing you.
Yeah,
Okay. I think just Joshua go for this first.
Which
Kumbalangi
one?
yeah,
Nights.
thank God.
My
Manoj will go last. Even after me. Manoj will go after me.
Okay. Oh my God.
okay,
More
fine.
pressure.
Okay, so
No, it's fine, it's
where do
fine.
I start? Where do I start? Okay,
Yeah.
first of all, this movie was amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
it was like, hello.
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
yeah.
bro.
Okay, it
It's all
was
yours. The podcast
really
is
good,
yours.
really good. The pace they took this and all that. It's like no one could actually, or at least me, I couldn't figure out what was happening at first.
Yeah, I had the same
Uh,
feeling
yeah,
in the
like,
beginning.
and then after this, all of a sudden, it's just like, it's like the story of brothers. Okay, like all these four brothers and all that. And first of all, I have to give props to the soundtrack. Okay, it had a
Mm.
really good soundtrack. Okay, and then all of a sudden, like, I thought it would be like some sort of very uh, like a type of drama kind of thing, which it
Yeah.
kind of was, but at the same time, it was just like this scary thing. It just became like a scary thing at the end, with the whole of Shami's that Shami character,
Yeah.
Fahd
right?
Faasil,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, dude, he was amazing, dude. He was actually amazing, and I've seen him in movies before. I can't
Super
remember
Deluxe.
He's
which
Super
one.
in
Deluxe.
Bangalore
Super
Super
Days.
Deluxe,
Deluxe.
yes, yeah, and
He
yeah.
was a
So
husband
like,
in Super Deluxe.
yeah. So how the way it was shot and everything, I just like when here's the thing about a personal preference. Like I like story movies a lot. Like anything which has a really good story, and this had like a really really good story. So the whole thing about the wait, I can give spoilers, right?
Yeah.
No, no,
Alright,
no. People would be listening to this, you know. We are Rajiv mustn't.
fair enough. So it's like I like how the progress about this family of four brothers, and like how it's always like a hate towards each other. Not all of them, but at least like the two main ones, right? Bobby and Saji, and at the as the movie progresses,
Sachi.
they just all of them they just come together and they just try to help each other out. I
Mm.
like how Saji, just his character development in the whole movie, it's just like he wants to be better. And I mean, obviously everybody wants to be better in the whole movie, but like Saji, he sees what he does, or at least that's what I like interpreted from this whole movie. Saji, and even Bobby, maybe not so much, but Saji, he just wanted to help out. He wanted to help out his brothers. He wanted to help out the widow, his friend's, his deceased friend's wife, and that was honestly really amazing. And it goes well, like very well with the whole soundtrack. I like how at the end it just shows like all harmony in the family, like how it just got peace. There was no fights, all of them were all under, like at the start of the movie, they were just the Bonnie was living somewhere else, and they just be constant fights. And even in the start, like Bonnie's friends tell him they're fighting again, that word again. So this happens like on
Mm.
normal basis, but like as the movie progresses, you just see how they just all get like a united front. Even when they want, Bobby asks them for help to get married, they all come together, they try to get them this the
Like a real
family to,
family.
yeah, like a real family. And that was amazing.
Even the
Like
youngest
really
brother
amazing.
in the
Sorry.
beginning, the youngest brother in the
Yeah,
beginning, he doesn't want to go home, but
he
at the end,
doesn't want to.
he wants to stay
Yeah,
with his
that's what.
family.
And honestly, I thought it was. Here's the thing about the movie, I honestly thought it was going to be like one brother after another brother that just going to tell like different stories and all that. Which in a way they kind of did, but mainly it was only for Bobby and Saji. But
Yeah,
I like
true.
how it's set up, because at first I couldn't make out what the movie was about. All of a sudden it was of one person, then it goes to another person, then all of a sudden it goes like this, gives me this horror vibe at the end.
Mm.
It was all like a mixture of like certain genres, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot of genres, but it's just like my opinion on this. And
It was like a
dude,
dramedy, I would say.
it was, yes,
A
yes, thank you. I
slice
was
of
trying
life.
to search for the word. I was trying to get the word. Thank you. That works. And I like Shami's Shami Fahadh Faasil.
Faster, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
Fahd
that's
Faasil.
yeah.
Fahd Faasil.
Oh my god, dude, that guy. I would not expect that turn of events at the end.
I just want to add on to what you're saying is that that is one of his most unique performances of Fahd Faasil in
Dude,
his
that
career.
was really. Oh god,
Yeah,
it
like
was.
because you don't see him like a crazy guy like this.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Like, no, I wouldn't have guessed it, honestly.
Mm.
I really wouldn't. And it was just like I like how the movie just turned turned to like some sort of a horror kind of vibe I got, like with the all the horror sound effects that
Especially
would
with
happen,
his character.
especially with his character and
Yeah.
the way he just looked like a proper psychopath, man.
Mm.
And it also portrays like how he wanted to be like that head of the family,
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
like how he takes the when they're all eating together, he gets in,
Yeah, yeah.
he's like, I just want to take the chair in front.
Yeah,
It
the
just
head
like that's
chair.
the head chair, exactly. That's like a representation, right, of head
Yeah,
of the family. And I
yeah.
like how he does it. I like how he wants to take control, which to some part actually he does take control of their whole
Yeah.
household. But at the
And their
end,
lives
it just
also, kind
and
of.
their lives also. I mean,
Yeah.
you could even see like his own wife was actually like really terrified of him, like really
Yeah.
afraid of him until at the end. And then that's when you realize, like, okay, this guy is not okay in the head.
Complete crackpot.
He's like got fits. He's got like
Yeah.
some sort of mental illness or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, it's amazing like how the ending turned out to be all of them living together. Uh, there's no more fights. There's so much growth you can see. There's so much positivity you can see in that whole movie, especially at the end of that. Again, the whole unity, the whole harmony. It's just like the love for each of the brothers that they have. Like no matter what happens, they always like got each other's backs,
Mm.
and I honestly really love that. And yeah,
You know,
I also liked how they captured like the whole fishing experience in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Fishing is a thread in the movie throughout
Yeah,
the entire movie.
I really like how they captured that. It was amazing. Yeah, I think that's all I have on that.
I would ask you guys to watch my review after this of Kumbalangi Nights.
Oh, okay.
Just want to just want to plug in that the studio behind Kumbalangi Nights, they saw my video and they commented on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
Just want to put
Oh
it
my
out.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
You don't want to
like,
brag. You just
subscribe.
want to put that out
Yeah,
there.
no bragging. Just want to let you guys know, like
No, but that's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say one of the point Joshua said, when Fahadh Faasil, the way he wants to take control, and he thinks he's right because how he makes sure that your sister is living with us. I am feeding
Yeah.
her. I am feeding your parents. I am giving you this house. I am giving you all these things. So I owe you control of your life.
Yeah.
Like love. Of course, the theme of the film was one of the theme was the masculinity. You know what
Yeah.
what his masculinity was. His all
Yeah.
intro scene in front of the mirror. I'm the
Mhm. Yeah.
Raymond.
I'm the man of the
Yeah,
house.
I'm the man from Raymond. Okay, and then him removing the bindi from the mirror. Trying to
Yeah.
suppress femininity. And his
Yeah.
mustache, perfect man.
I would say that that's the thread of the next movie as well, which we're going to talk about, but we'll talk about that later, obviously.
Who Varun? You wanna go ahead?
Yeah, okay. I'll go. Okay. So, yeah, I think I like this film a lot. I really liked how it is, very slow paced and it takes its own time to, show us about the characters and slowly build the plot. And then when we finally reach the climax, there's like suddenly it becomes like a thriller film, and I really like that. Also, overall, I think, yeah, like the writing and everything was really good. Yeah, one of my most favorite scene was like, when he goes to the doctor and he finally cries over there, and on the same hand we can see the other brother is crying with his girlfriend in that boat, that
Yeah.
area. And yeah, that was like a very beautiful scene. I really like that how they showed him finally accepting things, that and finally just letting go of all his emotions and
Yeah, when
crying very
I think
heavily.
when he bangs his head on the pole.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he finally then accepts the responsibility, and he brings his friend's widow home back with him. Like, yeah, that entire scene was really beautiful, really well shot, and I think the whole film was very beautiful. And
I mean, the location was very beautiful.
Yeah, the location was
It's
really
amazing.
beautiful. Yeah,
There was
and
no building, no city. It was just one
Yeah,
location, all
it's pretty far
greenery.
away from the city.
So close to nature.
mm, yeah, yeah, we don't get to see that, especially in Mumbai.
Yeah.
I think each character was like they did a really good job with every characters. All of them were really well written. Even all the female characters were really well written. Yeah, I think even I was like going to talk about Fahadh Faasil and like his acting, but I think yeah, you guys already talked enough about that.
I don't think talking about Fahad Fasil can be enough.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
love
that's
this
very
guy's
true.
acting also in this. Soubin Shahir, Saji.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
You could actually just feel all those emotions. At least I
You
did.
know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
actually felt. And
He's
like
such a natural
I'm
actor.
not, yeah, and honestly this movie was like this actually kind of, I was actually really close to tearing up, not because of like it was anything sad or anything, but it was just
Mm,
like that good of a film. I could feel like the
Yes,
all
yes.
those happy emotions, that maybe the sad
you could
emotions,
connect with emotions.
you could actually just connect with
Yeah,
the whole film.
yeah,
It was amazing.
true.
Hmm.
dude,
I
and
honestly just wanted
that
to
That is
call.
true.
I wanted to call Gursikhan up the minute I finished watching it and just tell him to just like, oh my god, just thank him so much for just giving me the movie.
and the scene where Saji cries, it's equivalent for
Yeah.
me to the scene from Masan. If you guys have seen it, ये
Yeah,
जब
yeah.
गाय खत्म
Vicky
नहीं
Kaushal,
होते.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. True, true. Yeah, even I thought that. Yes.
Mm.
and in like that twist of his friend dying.
Mm.
Just look at the scene, okay? He's
Yeah.
very depressed. He fought with his brothers, Saji. He
Mm.
comes to his friend who works for him, but he's also saying, "I'm leaving to Chennai with my wife. She's pregnant. I'll not do your job anymore." And they're drinking together, and this guy is
Yeah.
devastated now, and he wants to commit suicide. And in all of this, that guy dies. My God, I was just praying. They just show him, he falls and done. And I
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
praying, please don't kill him, please don't kill him, please don't kill him,
Hmm.
please don't kill him. And when he reveals it's died, oh my God, man. There's a even thriller film doesn't have this good twist.
This was guts to put a character down so much.
Unpredictable. Like how he's already devastated, he's destroyed, he
Yeah,
want to commit suicide, and after that there's also a level he can go down. Oh my God.
yeah,
It's called hitting rock bottom.
yeah. No, it's
It's called
hitting
Hitting
rock
hitting rock,
bottom and then finding that there's more
and then
down to
just
go.
yeah, dude, and just
hitting
like
the rock bottom twice and going more deeper.
Yeah.
No, hitting the rock bottom and coming out of the earth from the other side.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah, some of the things I want to mention is that yeah, friend dies, and yeah, even how they showed the personalities of Shami and all the brothers. Just look at the
Mm.
houses. Shami's house
Yeah,
is
yeah.
well built. It has doors. It's closed. It has windows. It's sophisticated, away
Mm.
from nature. And look at the brothers'
Yeah,
house. The house doesn't have doors. There's
yeah.
only one door, that's in the inside room, the bedroom.
Mm.
There's no doors, it's open, it's accepting.
Yeah,
The brother who's mute, he brings the girl, the foreigner, to his
yeah,
place.
yeah,
But Shami throws her out because she got a
yeah,
boy.
yeah,
Like how with the set, with everything, they portrayed the personalities of the characters.
yeah, yeah.
And just one more trivia. I don't know if you guys noticed, but remember the scene where the brother, I think it's Bobby and Baby, they
Mm.
are watching a film
Bobby.
in the theater.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
that was
the
Arjun
film.
Reddy, no?
Yeah, they are watching Arjun Reddy, and
Yeah.
she slaps Bobby. Baby slaps Bobby. Okay,
Yeah.
and at the end of the film, before the end of the film, Shami says that what kind of movies the young generation watches. So I was like, they're trying to comment on Arjun Reddy.
trying to sneak a commentary on Arjun Reddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Manoj, anything?
Oh, okay. I had the privilege to watch this movie in a packed theater when it
Oh
came
my
out.
God, I'm
So
jealous of you.
I
I'm just jealous of you.
I just want to say that there's a scene in the end where they are all fighting with each other, and Shami like puts them all down, and then he says that he says this in Malayalam, like he says Shami hero ada, like saying that I'm the hero here, like
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
that dialogue when he says the entire theater like roared and like applause, like even in spite of him being the antagonist, people that's the kind of movie this was like it helped you see both sides. I would just like to say one point. I think throughout the movie you see that like at least the movie starts off in a way showing that Fahadh Faasil's like sorry Shami's house, that's the more traditional house. That's the house that society kind of sees as the more as the way how you're supposed to bring up your family. Like have
Yeah.
a proper like have a proper like as Nona said, have a proper house, have a proper thing, and have a proper
What
way of
what
finding.
what society considers a man should
Yeah,
be
son
like.
considers to be but if you look at the family of the protagonist, they're like Bobby and all,
The
Bobby, Saji and
brothers.
all, their family is a pretty dysfunctional family. Like they are four brothers, and like especially towards the end of the movie, you see them bringing more and more people. Like they are not related by blood, but they have all come together and they have found happiness from each other. Whereas you see Shami's house, and they're all hell has broken loose, and they're completely unhappy, and they are like, this is it's like the opposite of what a family actually is, even though that is the more traditional kind of family you would consider. So I think just seeing this contrast between these two families was, I think, a really cool way of writing the entire story. And I thought the performances, we talked about the performances, we talked about everything else, but I think overall it was a pretty beautiful film, and it's a feel good film, I would say. That's how I would sum up the entire movie.
Even the scene in the barber shop, man, when
Yeah,
Saji
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Bobby goes to ask for the
For the
hand.
proposal.
Yeah. The
yeah,
way Shami manipulate. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
yeah.
There's the gems all over the film, man.
Yeah. It feels like a real movie. Like, it feels like these are real characters. It feels as these are real issues that they're going through.
Yes, yes.
I think if
Like you said,
only
right?
All of them
You
feel
can
so
like
realistic.
yeah, like, it's like he said, like you can just connect with the whole thing. You can
Yeah.
even connect with the characters.
Yeah.
if I want to nitpick, I would say that these guys could easily take down Shami at the end, but okay,
Yeah,
I'll
but then
forgive
he
him.
couldn't say that beautiful line that he says.
Yeah, yeah, I'll forgive
Yeah,
them for that.
it was just like there's like two of them, man, two against one, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess he was so
what
mad.
was a little bit this for me, like maybe a little bit let down. I mean, not a lot, but maybe 2% out of a whole, maybe 2 out of a whole 10. Is that
I
the
like how
mute Bonnie?
accurately you calculated your letdown.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So basically, Bonnie, he's shown to be like this really, strong kind of man, like, or at least how I see how he's portrayed, in the movie.
Yeah.
Who?
Like I saw
Who?
him
Yeah.
to be Bonnie, the mute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him to be like a strong person. Like he has his friends besides him. It looked
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he was in some sort of a gang. It looked like he had his like kind of had like his life together, as in like
Hmm.
he's like confident person. He's
He he
like
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
he was in the
yeah,
gang and he was the leader. It felt
yeah.
like.
It seemed, yeah, exactly. And then I was expecting him to be like a little bit strong, But then after when I
Hmm.
saw that, and he's just being so easily just put down by
Yeah.
Shami, and it was just a little bit
Yeah, that's true.
confusing-ish
That's
to
true.
watch,
I think they wanted all of them to team up and take him with a fishing net. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, that was like the goal of the entire fight. But still, it was good, I thought.
it was still good. It was still good.
Yeah.
Nothing to take away from the film, but like everything else in the film just makes up for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, true, true, true.
Yeah, so I think we move to the next film. It's already been an hour.
Jallikattu. It's only been an hour. We
I
have so
hope
much
I
more
hope
time.
any someone is listening till here, and if you are listening, comment below. I love Nona Prince, and I'll give you a treat. None of you. It doesn't apply for any of you.
No, we
You
are
know
not going
what?
to
You
do
know
it.
what?
Don't
You know
worry.
what? You know what?
Even if I tell my
Don't
friend to
comment.
do it, and then he's going to give half of it
Don't
to me.
Yeah.
don't comment. I love Nona Prince. Comment I hate Nona Prince. That would be better. Because I get a lot of comments saying I love Nona Prince. So I don't want to get confused
Oh,
and all.
okay, okay, okay. You want to like balance it
Yeah.
out. Like,
Okay, so guys, let's talk about Jallikattu now. Who wants to start? I think it was Manoj's favorite, so I think he should start.
oh my God. Okay, so this was a movie that really surprised me. Like because when it started, I was not expecting much. I saw this a long time back actually. Uh, so one thing I have to say is that the director of this movie is his name is Lijo Juice Pellisheri. His movies are always kind of like this. I mean, it's very grounded to the characters. It's very grounded to the world. He does this thing where he tries to bring the entire world where the film is set alive, which is I think the essence of the success of his movies. So this movie had a pretty like crazy plot, I would say. Like when the bull sort of like sets free and he's sort of like roaming around, and you have the entire village trying to capture the bull. And here you see the themes of man, like the difference between man and animal sort of being blurred out, and
Yeah,
they're kind of one basically. Like you see the craziness that people are going through. I mean, we talked about masculinity in the last movie, like Kumbalangi Nights, but that's brought a whole different level in this movie because you see that everyone is trying to man up the other person, and they're trying to put over their superiority over the other person. And
yeah,
we have this one character. His name is Warki. He's played by Chamban Vinod, the character who runs the shop basically, and
He's the
he's
main
just
butcher.
trying. uh, I think I would say the main protagonist is probably Anthony, the guy who's trying to kill the bull, basically. Like the guy. How do I
the
how
guy,
do I
the guy
describe
Yeah,
this?
I
who,
got who
the
you're
guy
talking
at the
about.
Yeah,
end who's
you
trying to
got it. All
come
right.
out.
But you have Warki on one side. He's just trying to kill this bull. He let the bull out, and the bull escaped, and the entire village or the entire town has suffered, and now he just wants to kill it. But then you have this entire uproar, like created partly by Anthony, who just wants to kill the bull and try to like sort of and establish his superiority over the entire town. And I thought this movie really surprised me. Like first of all, like initially when the movie started and you had the bull sort of like roaming around, it reminded me a bit of Jaws because it felt like they were not trying to show the bull as
Jaws.
much
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it felt like they were
yeah,
not
yeah,
trying to show the bull as much and they were like trying to like hide it. But towards the end, like dude, the cinematography in this movie like blew my mind. Like I did not expect to see such levels in the cinematography. Like the DOP is Girish Gangadharan, and he was the DOP of the last film of the same director, and that film had 11 minutes straight single shot
Angamali
sequence.
Diaries.
Angamali Diaries, yeah.
Yeah.
And that one also blew my mind when I saw it then.
Don't
But this
spoil
one
the
blew
film
my
for me.
mind. Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
won't spoil it. I won't spoil it. I won't say anything about the characters in that. But this one blew my mind more because I feel like Angamali Diaries didn't have the story was the story was decent and it was a pretty good story in Angamali Diaries. But for me, the story in this was great. Like I was really surprised of the themes that he was able to explore in this crazy, wild kind of movie. And I guess that's why one of the reasons why I like this movie more because I feel like this movie took some risks and experimented more than the other movies that we talked about, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the thing that made me like this movie a lot. Not a lot more, but a little bit more than the other movies we talked about. And
I think I think
uh,
I think
yeah, yeah, go on.
comparatively, this film is not mainstream at all compared to other two
Oh,
films.
obviously not.
It
Yeah,
isn't.
that's
It's not.
true.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
more of like
It's a
an
very
experimental
wild movie.
film. It's more of like an experimental film,
Yeah,
artsy
yeah, yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I'd
True.
say.
But it doesn't have that slow pace of an art film, I would say. Like it's like once it
It's very
starts, it just
quick.
starts going. Like
It's just 1.5 or something like that.
yeah,
It's very quick. It goes fast.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
No, but it's like the pace as it like the pace it was going was seemed really, like a slow pace kind of. That's what
yeah.
I felt.
Okay, okay.
So I think
I just
this
I just
this
want to talk
film.
about one more thing.
Yeah.
Like there's this shot when the bull is like trapped in the well, and there's a shot from under, like where you see the bull looking up, and you see all the lights of the
Yeah,
villagers,
that's
like
the
all the
interval
town people
interval
sort of like,
scene.
and dude, that shot was amazing.
That was the interval scene, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I liked how like you see this sort of masculinity like everywhere. You see it in the police, you see it in the town, and in the end, you see the police inspector. He has sort of removed his pants and he's putting a lungi with his khaki. It's sort of
Yeah.
like symbolizing that now he's also with the town people to like capture the bull, and that kind of I don't know. It was kind of funny, and that I sort of noted that. That's it. I think that's it. That's my thoughts on this movie.
Like I said, right? So as per the whole, again, I'm going to bring up the whole thing about personal preference, about
Yeah.
wanting a story and all. So I was not expecting
Yeah.
what I'd get out of this,
Yeah.
and like from what I saw, like the story was pretty straightforward. There's nothing
Yeah. Yeah.
out there. There's nothing in there. It was just like a
Mm.
bunch of people trying to catch a
Yeah.
bull, and is I mean there was like some side stories in there, like
Yeah. Yeah.
there was this father wanting to marry his uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Daughter.
daughter and something like
Yeah.
that, and he couldn't get
Yeah.
the buffalo meat, and then there was
Yeah.
this Waki's sister who was
Yeah.
you know
That
into
that
two
that
other
that
people.
Warki sister thing felt a little weird to me. Like
Yeah,
this
I
is
don't know, but it added to the whole thing, and from what
yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw, it was just like everybody wanted to, like you said, everybody wanted to feel like validated. They wanted to,
Yeah.
you
Be the
know
superior man,
yes,
basically.
establish like, okay, fine, I did
Yeah.
something, like
Yeah.
validate me. I'm better than this person, I'm better than that
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Especially this whole that enmity between Anthony and Kuttachan.
Yeah. Kuttichan.
Kuttachan. Okay, sorry, I can't pronounce these words properly.
Uh,
But yeah,
I've-
so that, and especially, and again, I'm not saying that I like I found the movie pretty like good. I wouldn't say it was the best movie for me, but I
Mhm.
found it pretty good because I liked how when they're trying to even catch the bull, Anthony, he's like, okay, you know what, I caught the bull, even though it just
Mhm.
probably just fell and nobody saw him do anything.
Yeah.
But he was just like, I caught the bull, I want to kill it the way I
Yeah.
want to do it, right? He wasn't
Which is
giving
like
good.
pointless. Like if
Yeah,
you look at it in a practical way.
exactly. He didn't want
Yeah.
Kuttachan to take all that glory. And
Yeah.
even then, after the bull got out, when Kuttachan was fighting that bull, Anthony just came and started stabbing Kuttachan instead
Yeah.
of,
Yeah. Yeah.
getting the bull. And you
It,
can just
you
see
kind
that.
of wonder who's the real animal here.
You kind of see that, like, okay, these people just want to establish that I'm better than you, I'm better than
Yeah.
anyone over here. It's like that mentality. And then what got me with this film, I when it came to the whole plot, right, I just thought it was okay. It was like I said, right, it's an experimental film. There's not
Mm,
much
yeah.
story to it, storytelling
Yeah,
wise, but
actually,
it's
your
I
point
don't
on
know, that's just.
story.
Yeah.
No, I would like just try to add that this director of the film, Lijojo's Pellissieri, sorry, Lijojo's Pellissieri, his movies usually the story is not the strongest point of his movies.
Okay, okay.
Like even in Angamali Diaries, which was his previous movie, or a movie like Amen, it's never the story. It's always the performances and
Performance,
the
like,
the
okay,
atmosphere
I
he
no,
creates from
yeah,
his
yeah,
movies.
I understand
Yeah,
that. But it's just like,
yeah,
the story, it didn't get me much and all that, but only the ending when they showed me
yeah,
that, that hit me. The ending, when they showed the
yeah.
tribal people, right, they're fighting for the
Yeah,
whole
that's the thing. That's
dominance
the thing
thing.
which I really loved.
That's the
Like
thing.
that's for me that elevated the
That kind
movie.
of that actually just opened my eyes to the film, like how it was. It just like
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing's changed.
yeah,
Like nothing much has changed from all that time. Like I feel like that was what got me to the
yeah,
movie, like the essence of that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like from all those years to right now, men, like humankind is still like that. They want to
We
be
haven't changed
validated. They
that
want.
much.
only the way of things have changed, but the instinct
Yeah,
is
yeah,
same.
but the instinct is still there.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
still want to be validated. You want to be better
mm,
than anyone else and all that. And sometimes you'd
yeah,
even go to that drive to even kill somebody for that.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
basically it was just the ending that got to me. Like
I mean,
I was not.
I would
I,
say
w- I was.
like they're trying to say that the world has changed, but man has not changed.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just like I said, the whole movie, the story like didn't get to me, but the whole movie got to me only
Yeah,
once I saw that ending. I saw what he was trying to
yeah,
at least portray or trying to
yeah, yeah.
show, his audience. Like, okay,
Yeah.
not much has changed when it comes to like human beings,
Yeah.
like that. So like that, it was a really good film.
Great, man. I think one thing I want to add was what you were talking about. Oh my god, why do I
What?
forget what I had to
Jallikattu.
say? What were we
You
talking
need to
about
make
just
cue
now?
cards, man. You need to start making cue cards.
What were you talking about just before this? Like
Jallikattu.
the last line you said before that.
The climax
Oh,
scene,
The what?
the climax, the ending that
Yeah,
that
I was
dinosaur
gonna
like
say. Yeah, I got it. Even the character whose field got ruined, and all the film is just going around offices and everywhere to get the thing
yeah,
signed and get a complaint, FIR, and all that.
yeah,
It shows like what the system, how the system really works. Like it's just a joke.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
kind of missed that. That's actually a very good point.
yeah,
yeah. So I was gonna say, of course, how insane the film is, and then yeah. So this film was shown at Toronto Film Festival, and I
yeah,
think
yeah.
not there or somewhere the director got the question why there's no female protagonist or female character, like strong
I
female
think it
character
was.
in the film.
I saw an Anjali Menon interview where he sort of was talking about that.
Yeah, so he said that the females in the town, they were sensible enough not to go after a bull.
Yeah,
All the men were like gone mad. And
yeah.
yeah, I love the long takes in the film, man. I just love
Dude, that's the DOP of this film, Girish Gangadhar, and like his camera work is amazing. Like I noticed that in Angamali Diaries as well.
your hello, your voice is out. We can't hear you.
Uh,
Yeah, now go ahead.
okay.
The cinematographer?
Should I? Was my voice cut off?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay. Now is it okay?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I think the DOP of the film, Girish Gangadhar, and like his camera work is amazing. Like even in Angamali Diaries, you could notice that. Like there's like really long takes of the crowd, and you see like everyone sort of running beside like the camera, like going away. You feel like you're right in the crowd as the camera sort of moves forward. That's amazing.
His running shots were amazing, man, at the end.
Yeah,
The people charging with anger. Oh my god.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always
Even the
see.
night shots, like the
Yeah.
way the lighting was like there was amazing.
When I see a war film and then when people are running towards each other, like they're like not even running, they're jogging. Like there's no strength and
Yeah,
furiousness and all. And one more thing I have to compliment is the way they portrayed the bull. Like it was, I think, I don't know what it's called. It's like a machine, and
animatronic,
it
something like that.
yeah, something like that. And it was just amazing.
Yeah,
The places where they kept the camera on top of the head of the bull,
yeah,
and
yeah,
we
well,
saw his
yeah.
perspective. Oh my god! Technically, this
It
film
was
was
a very
brilliant.
creative movie.
Yeah, technically they were brilliant in this film.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not a film to be digestible by everyone, and I don't
Oh
think.
yeah, definitely. Like I don't think I can show this movie to my mom.
Yeah, that's true. I would out of all three, I would love to show Virus and Kumbalangi Nights, but that too it has to be dubbed because I don't think my parents can watch with
Actually, my
subtitles.
mom and dad, yeah, they saw Kumpulangi, but they have not seen Virus or Jallikattu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's anything you guys want to add, or we should end.
I'm just glad that we got to talk about Malayalam cinema.
Oh, thank you, man. When I found out you're
Uh,
from Kerala, I was like, yes, yeah.
I mean, so I actually had to ask you this. Did you decide on doing this before knowing I was from Kerala, or was
No,
this always planned to do?
I decided before, but see,
Okay.
the last one we did on Tamil cinema.
Yeah.
We did, I think, what, 4 5 months back. I think more than that. And for so
Yeah. Okay.
long, what? Yeah. So like I was planning this, but of course these two guys were busy. so I couldn't
Yeah, yeah,
give them the movies to watch.
yeah,
But then you
yeah,
came in and the lockdown, and also I thought now they can catch up.
yeah.
So what next? Like I would like
I don't
to.
know.
There are some great Kannada films I would like you to watch.
Yeah, sure, man.
Again, I'll do a variation. Like I'll have a very commercially mass film, but it's like it got substance in it, and then a really amazing film. If you're a Tarantino fan, you'll love it. And the
Okay.
third film, I'm to decide which one should I choose. So like I'll give you a month or a 2 weeks time. Like not like just not next week. Take your time.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Maybe
I'm jobless
maybe
anyway, so
yeah. So maybe maybe I give you four films because there's a very different kind of films available. I have to even
yeah.
check if you guys can get it somewhere because many of them are not available. Yeah, man. Yeah. So I think I would love to watch. Of course, like I always recommend movies to Varun, but he doesn't pay attention to me and like this guy is like just talks shit. I hopefully this time these recommendations made my image better in your mind. Did it, Varun? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you believe me now? Like if I say, if do you trust me? Do you trust me now? If I tell you to watch a movie, you'll watch it. What the
Oh,
fuck?
perfect timing.
I'm sure it's a network issue.
Yeah, no. It's actually he said no. He didn't want to hurt your feelings. That's why he didn't say anything.
I think on that note we should end it. We'll
Yeah,
never know. We'll never know if Varun trusts me or not.
Stay tuned for the
Yeah.
next episode.
Yeah.
yeah. To be continued.
Till we continue.
I'll. So guys, thank you for hearing this. If you are watching this, like you have nothing to do, man. Do something. Do something productive. And yeah, but sure. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending so much time, giving me so much watch time. And like this video, share this video, so more people can watch it and hear it, and subscribe, and I become famous. Yeah. So yeah, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Josh, Manoj, Wars,
Yeah.
Thanks for having us,
and
man.
hopefully
Thanks.
you
Thanks
it
for having
was
us.
hopefully it was a pleasant experience with the
Yeah.
podcast and watching watching these films. Yeah. So guys, thank you again. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully within a month. Will not take more than that.
Yeah.
And I think we'll be back with Kannada cinema, and then afterwards we'll do Telugu.
Yeah,
So
Kannada. Yeah,
guys,
Kannada
thank
movies. Yeah.
you. See you. Bye. Sayonara. Stay home. Stay safe. Cut.